Well, let's stay with tariffs as the U.S. and China go back and forth over which side violated the trade agreement. Consumers in both countries are starting to feel the impact, especially Chinese diners who are having to do without American delicacies like chicken feet. Eunice Yoon has that story in this week's China Lens.
At his restaurant in Beijing, owner Yoon used to offer a special dish, salt-baked chicken feet, or phoenix talons as they're called here, imported from America. But after prices rose 30% from March due to tariffs, he's had to pull the Chinese delicacy from the menu. American chicken feet are so beautiful, he says. Chinese feet just aren't as good. The tariffs and uncertainty they cause is why some American products have been vanishing from stores and restaurants. Beef supplier Liu Li says U.S. beef supply is unstable and now 50% more expensive. He switched to Australian beef, which has zero duty. U.S. beef is fattier and tastier, he says. It's a shame we're in a trade war. The high price is just too much to bear.
I'm taking you to a restaurant in Beijing that is famous locally for its American-style barbecue. It's known to source all of its beef from the U.S.
Until May.
The menu has already been completely changed. The staff here tell us that all of the beef is Australian.
Chinese customers are forced to adjust. I don't think there's much difference, he says. Not everyone is willing to compromise. Restaurateur Geng can source chicken feet now from Brazil or Russia, but says they just don't stand up to the American ones. He keeps a small stash for himself, but hopes to serve his salt-baked American phoenix talons once again. The price of American chicken feet will come back down, he says, as long as there are no big changes in the world's political situation. Quite a feat with U.S. China tensions so high.
Geng says that another consideration on pricing is that while tariffs are pushing up costs, the down economy here is making Chinese consumers much more price sensitive. So the American chicken foot and its pricier price is a bigger sell. John?
Somebody's got to tell the American chickens. I'm sure they'd be very proud. Now, it sounds to me like, at least in the near to medium term, these shifts won't be permanent because the American food product is differentiated, kind of different from the European situation, no?
Yeah, well, it definitely has its own selling point. So that is something that longer term would be good for the industry. But for the moment, one of the problems is also just that overall uncertainty that people have. And one thing that was interesting with the consumers who we spoke to is that they were saying, well, it's something that we could live with. They were kind of adjusting to it. And one thing that we've learned here during the pandemic is that once people start switching products, over the long term, there's a big question as to whether or not you'd go back. So that's another consideration that a lot of these businesses are thinking about here.